Let me begin by asking you a question that could entirely reshape how you see your life and your spiritual journey. What if everything you've ever desired, peace, clarity, abundance, love, isn't something you need to chase, but something that already exists in a higher plane, waiting for you to align with it? What if the frustrations you feel, the blocks you encounter, and the struggles you endure are simply the result of operating in an outdated dimension of thought, energy, and consciousness? The fifth dimension is not some far-off place hidden in the cosmos. It's a state of being. It's a shifting consciousness where you transcend the duality, fear, and limitations of the third and fourth dimensions and step into a frequency where life becomes fluid, aligned, deeply connected, and infinitely abundant. Imagine this. You're living your life in a room with dim lighting. You can only vaguely see your surroundings, and it's hard to make sense of the mess. But then someone comes in and opens the windows, floods the room with sunlight, and suddenly everything is illuminated. That's what entering the fifth dimension feels like. It's as if the spiritual light switch gets turned on and you can see your life clearly for the first time. But here's the thing, most of us don't realize that we're stuck in the lower dimensions. The third dimension is ruled by fear, material obsession, and separation. It's the world of, I need to get ahead, I am not enough, and I need to control everything around me to feel safe. Then there's the fourth dimension, a transitional state where we get glimpses of higher awareness, but we're still battling ego, doubt, and attachment. So the real question is, what is keeping you from stepping into the fifth dimension, where your spiritual energy is magnified tenfold?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The answer lies in your vibration. Everything in the universe is energy, vibrating at different frequencies. The fifth dimension operates at an extraordinarily high frequency, which is why entering it requires letting go of the dense, low vibrational energies that keep us tied to the third and fourth dimensions. These energies include fear, judgment, resentment, and attachment to outcomes. Think about your day-to-day life. How often do you feel weighed down by worry about the future, anger about the past, or frustration over things you can't control? These emotions are not inherently bad. They're part of the human experience. But when we cling to them, they act as heavy anchors, preventing us from rising into the higher frequencies of the fifth dimension. You might be wondering, how do I let go of these emotions when they feel so real, so immediate? The key is awareness. You cannot release what you do not recognize. Start to notice the patterns of your thoughts and feelings. Are you constantly judging yourself or others? Are you replaying the same negative scenarios in your mind? Are you holding on to grudges, thinking they protect you when in reality they imprison you? Awareness is the first step because it shines a light on the unconscious habits that keep your vibration low. Once you're aware of these patterns, you can begin to dissolve them through practices like forgiveness, gratitude, and surrender. Forgiveness is especially powerful because it untangles the energetic cords that bind you to the past. It's not about condoning what happened, it's about freeing yourself from the weight of it. As you forgive, you raise your vibration and create space for the higher frequencies of the fifth dimension to flow through you. Let's talk about gratitude, the ultimate frequency shifter. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you tune into the energy of abundance, which is the natural state of the fifth dimension. Gratitude rewires your brain to see opportunities instead of obstacles, love instead of fear, and connection instead of separation. It's like tuning a radio. You can't hear the music of the fifth dimension if you're stuck on the static of lack and limitation. But here's where it gets even deeper. Entering the fifth dimension isn't just about changing your thoughts or emotions. It's about embodying a new way of being. It's about realizing that you are not separate from the universe. You are a co-creator with it. In the third dimension, we often feel like victims of life, thinking things happen to us. In the fifth dimension, we understand that life happens through us. The energy we emit is the energy we attract. So let me ask you, what energy are you putting out into the world right now? Is it aligned with the life you want to manifest? This brings us to the concept of presence. The fifth dimension exists only in the now. When you're obsessing over the past or worrying about the future, you're operating in the lower dimensions. Presence is the doorway to the fifth dimension because it allows you to tap into the infinite field of possibilities that exists in this very moment. One practical way to cultivate presence is through mindfulness. All this exercise start with something simple. When you eat, taste your food fully. When you walk, feel the ground beneath your feet. When you breathe, notice the rhythm of your breath. These small acts of presence anchor you in the now and align you with the higher frequencies. Exercise with exercising. Another essential practice for entering the fifth dimension is meditation. In meditation, you quiet the noise of the mind, dissolve the ego's grip, and connect with your higher self, the part of you that already exists in the fifth dimension. Think of meditation as dialing into the frequency of your soul. The more you meditate, the more you strengthen your connection to this higher frequency, and the more natural it becomes to operate from this state. Now, let's address something important. The shift to the fifth dimension isn't always easy. As you raise your vibration, you may experience what's known as ascension symptoms. These can include physical sensations like fatigue, headaches, or restlessness, as well as emotional upheavals like sudden sadness or irritability. This is your body and energy field adjusting to the higher frequencies. It's like upgrading your operating system. There may be a period of instability, but it's all part of the process. Later on, complexity settles, and we find ourselves facing our tomorrow. When these symptoms arise, don't resist them. Instead, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Often, these symptoms are a sign that old energies are being purged to make room for the new. Support your body during this time by drinking plenty of water, eating high vibrational foods like fruits and vegetables, and spending time in nature, which naturally resonates with the fifth dimension. How can you develop passion? Let's circle back to the idea of boosting your spiritual energy by 10x. Imagine what that would feel like. To wake up every day with clarity, peace, and purpose. To move through life with a sense of flow, knowing that you are supported by the universe in every step you take. To experience synchronicities so profound that it feels like the universe is speaking directly to you. This is not some distant dream, it's the reality of the fifth dimension. But here's the most important thing to understand. The fifth dimension is not something you enter once and for all. It's a state of consciousness that you can tune into at any moment. It's not about being perfect or always vibrating at a high frequency. It's about choosing, again and again, to align with love over fear, trust over doubt, and flow over resistance. So let me leave you with this question. What are you willing to release to step into the fifth dimension and claim the spiritual power that is already yours? Now that we've begun to explore what the fifth dimension is and how it can amplify your spiritual energy, let's go deeper into the transformation required to step into this higher state of consciousness. One of the most profound shifts you must make to enter the fifth dimension is moving from fear to love. This isn't just a metaphorical shift, it's a vibrational shift, a complete rewiring of how you experience and respond to life. And here is the truth. You cannot take fear with you into the fifth dimension. Sorry. Fear is the signature frequency of the third dimension. It shows up as worry, anxiety, anger, jealousy, and the need to control. These emotions are rooted in the belief that you are separate from others, from the universe, and even from your own higher self. Fear convinces you that life is a battle to be won, that you must constantly fight or protect yourself to survive. It's a heavy energy that keeps you tethered to a limited, linear experience of reality. But love is the frequency of the fifth dimension. It's expansive, limitless, and deeply connected. It's not just a feeling, it's a state of being that aligns you with the flow of the universe. So, the question becomes, how do you begin to shift from fear to love? The first step is recognizing where fear still shows up in your life. Fear can be subtle, hiding in the background of your thoughts, or it can be loud, dominating your emotions and decisions. Sometimes, fear disguises itself as logic or practicality. For example, you might think, I can't follow my dreams because it's too risky, or I need to stay in this toxic relationship because what if I never find someone else? But fear is often far worse. These thoughts may seem rational, but they are rooted in the fear of lack and unworthiness. Take a moment to reflect. Where is fear holding you back right now? What decisions are you making because of fear rather than love? Awareness is the key to transformation. When you shine the light of awareness on your fears, they begin to lose their power. Afraid? Once you've identified where fear is operating in your life, the next step is to consciously choose love instead. This isn't always easy, especially when fear feels so real. But here's the thing. Fear is an illusion. It's a projection of the mind, a story you tell yourself about what might happen. Love, on the other hand, is real. It's the essence of who you are. When you choose love, you align with your true self and the infinite possibilities of the universe. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine you're in a situation where someone has wronged you. Your instinct might be to hold on to anger or resentment, but these emotions only keep you trapped in the lower dimensions. Instead, ask yourself, what would love do in this situation? Love might forgive. Love might let go of the need to be right. Love might send blessings to the person who hurt you, knowing that their actions came from their own pain or unconsciousness. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful acts of love you can embody, and it's a direct gateway to the fifth dimension. When you forgive, you release the dense, heavy energy of resentment and open yourself to the higher frequencies of compassion, understanding, and peace. This doesn't mean you condone harmful behavior or allow people to mistreat you. It means you free yourself from the energetic chains that keep you tied to the past. Another way to shift from fear to love is by practicing gratitude. Gratitude is the language of the fifth dimension. It's a way of saying to the universe, I trust you. I see the beauty and abundance in my life, even in the smallest things. When you focus on gratitude, fear naturally dissolves because you're no longer vibrating at the frequency of lack. Instead, you're aligning with the frequency of abundance, which is the natural state of the fifth dimension. For example, instead of worrying about what you don't have, start appreciating what you do have. Instead of fearing what might go wrong, start celebrating what's already going right. Gratitude isn't just a mindset, it's a vibrational shift that raises your energy and brings you into resonance with the higher dimensions. Let's dive deeper into the energy dynamics of fear and love. Fear contracts your energy field. When you're in fear, your aura shrinks, your body tenses, and your mind becomes cloudy. You feel disconnected from yourself and the world around you. Love, on the other hand, expands your energy field. It opens your heart, clears your mind, and creates a sense of oneness with the universe. When you're in love, you're in flow. Synchronicities happen, doors open, you feel supported and guided. So let me ask you, which energy are you living in right now? Fear or love? And which energy do you want to live in? To fully shift into the fifth dimension, you must make love your default state. This doesn't mean you'll never feel fear again. Fear is part of the human experience, and it will still arise from time to time. But when it does, you'll recognize it for what it is, a temporary illusion, not your truth. You'll have the tools to shift back into love, knowing that love is your home frequency. An incredibly powerful practice for anchoring yourself in love is heart coherence. This involves bringing your awareness to your heart and generating feelings of love, compassion, and gratitude. To try it, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Place your hand on your heart and focus your attention there. As you breathe, imagine your heart filling with a warm, radiant light. Think of someone or something you love deeply and let that feeling expand within you. Notice how your energy shifts almost instantly. This is the power of heart coherence. It aligns you with the frequency of the fifth dimension. Remember, love is not just a feeling, it's a choice you make every day. It's a commitment to seeing the world through the lens of unity rather than separation. It's a decision to trust the universe, even when things feel uncertain. And most importantly, it's a promise to yourself to honor your highest potential and step into the light of who you truly are. As you make this shift from fear to love, you'll begin to notice profound changes in your life. Relationships will improve, opportunities will flow to you effortlessly. You'll feel lighter, freer, and more aligned with your purpose. This is the magic of the fifth dimension. It amplifies your spiritual energy and creates a reality that reflects your highest vibration. Let's begin this part with a question that could challenge everything you've been conditioned to believe. What if the very act of trying to control your life is what's keeping you from the peace, abundance, and spiritual energy you're seeking? Control is the hallmark of the third dimension. It's rooted in fear. Fear of uncertainty, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. But in the fifth dimension, control is replaced by something far more powerful. Surrender. Surrender doesn't mean giving up or passively allowing life to happen to you. In fact, surrender is one of the most courageous and empowering acts you can take on your spiritual journey. It's about trusting the flow of the universe, knowing that there is a higher intelligence at work, and understanding that you don't need to micromanage every detail of your life to manifest your desires. Surrender is the bridge between effort and flow, between struggle and ease. But here's the paradox. Surrender feels difficult because we've been taught to equate it with weakness. Society glorifies control, achievement, and planning. We're taught to work harder, push further, and fight against the current to succeed. Yet the more we resist, the more we exhaust ourselves. Have you ever felt like no matter how much effort you put in, things just don't seem to flow? That's because resistance blocks the natural energy of the universe from working through you. Ask yourself this: where in your life are you holding on too tightly? What are you trying to control that could be surrendered instead? Perhaps it's a relationship, perhaps it's your career, perhaps it's your spiritual growth itself. The act of surrender begins with awareness. You can't let go of what you don't realize you're gripping onto. When you surrender, you align yourself with the flow of the fifth dimension. In this state, you're no longer forcing outcomes or clinging to specific timelines. Instead, you're allowing life to unfold in the way it's meant to. This doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means your actions come from a place of intuition and trust rather than fear and doubt. It's the difference between swimming against the current and letting the river carry you to where you're meant to be. One of the most practical ways to practice surrender is through the concept of detachment from outcomes. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring about your goals or desires. It means you release the need to control how and when they manifest. For example, if you're trying to manifest a new job, detachment would mean taking inspired action, updating your resume, applying for roles, going to interviews, while letting go of obsessive worry about whether or not you'll get the job. But you trust that the right opportunity will come at the right time, and you focus on maintaining your vibration in the meantime. Here's a profound truth. When you surrender, you create space for miracles. The universe operates on a level of intelligence that far exceeds our human understanding. When you release control, you allow this intelligence to work on your behalf. Synchronicities begin to appear. The right people, opportunities, and resources come into your life without effort. And because you're no longer attached to specific outcomes, you're able to recognize and receive these blessings with gratitude and ease. Think of surrender like planting a seed. When you plant a seed in the soil, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust the process. You water it, you give it sunlight, and you allow nature to take its course. Surrendering your desires works the same way. Once you've set your intention, your job is to nurture your vibration and trust the process. The universe will handle the rest. But surrender isn't just about letting go of external control. It's also about surrendering the internal battle with your ego. The ego thrives on fear, comparison, and attachment. It's the voice in your head that tells you you're not doing enough, or you need to prove yourself. In the fifth dimension, the ego no longer runs the show. Instead, You operate from your higher self, the part of you that knows you are already whole, already worthy, and already connected to the infinite energy of the universe. To quiet the ego and strengthen your connection to your higher self, try practicing stillness. Stillness is where surrender begins. When you sit in silence, you tune out the noise of the external world and tune into the wisdom of your soul. Start with just 5 minutes a day. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to simply be. You don't need to solve anything or figure anything out. Just be still and open. In this space, you'll begin to feel the gentle guidance of your higher self, leading you toward the path of least resistance. Here's another powerful practice. When you feel resistance or fear creeping in, ask yourself, what would it feel like to let this go? Imagine for a moment that the weight you're carrying, the worry, the tension, the need to control, is no longer yours to bear. Visualize yourself handing it over to the universe. Feel the lightness in your body as you release it. This simple act of visualization can shift your energy instantly. Let's talk about trust, because surrender and trust go hand in hand. Trust is the foundation of the fifth dimension. It's the belief that the universe is always working for your highest good, even when things don't seem to be going your way. This doesn't mean challenges won't arise. They will. But when you trust, you see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. You understand that everything is happening for a reason, even if that reason isn't immediately clear. And think about a time in your life when things didn't go according to plan, but later you realized it was a blessing in disguise. Maybe a job you didn't get led you to an even better opportunity. Maybe a relationship that ended taught you invaluable lessons about self-love. These experiences are proof that the universe always has your back, even when you can't see it in the moment. Just be prepared. So let me ask you, what would your life look like if you fully trusted the universe? What would you do differently if you knew without a doubt that everything is unfolding perfectly? When you surrender, you step into a state of flow where life becomes effortless. You're no longer fighting against the current, you're moving with it. And in this state, your spiritual energy is magnified exponentially. The fifth dimension isn't something you achieve through force or effort. It's something you allow yourself to flow into by letting go. Now that we've explored the power of surrender and the transformative shift from fear to love, let's dive into what it takes to sustain the energy of the fifth dimension in your everyday life. Because here's the truth, stepping into the fifth dimension isn't about having one fleeting moment of transcendence. It's about embodying this higher frequency so deeply that it becomes your natural way of being. You become a vessel of light, a living, breathing expression of the divine energy that flows through the universe. This raises a profound question. How can you maintain the vibration of the fifth dimension when life is full of challenges, distractions, and temptations to fall back into old patterns? The answer is simple, yet deeply transformative. You must actively cultivate practices and perspectives that anchor you in this state. Think of it like building spiritual muscle. And just as you strengthen your body through consistent exercise, you strengthen your connection to higher dimensional energy through intentional daily practices. One of the most powerful ways to sustain fifth dimensional energy is through conscious alignment. This means living in integrity with your highest self, making choices, speaking words, and taking actions that are aligned with the energy of love, truth, and unity. Every decision you make, no matter how small, either raises or lowers your vibration. So ask yourself, is this thought, this action, or this reaction coming from love or fear? Another essential practice for sustaining fifth dimensional energy is cultivating energetic boundaries. As you raise your vibration, you may find yourself more sensitive to the energies around you. This is because the fifth dimension operates on such a high frequency that dense, lower vibrational energies can feel especially heavy or disruptive. Protecting your energy doesn't mean isolating yourself or avoiding challenges. It means being mindful of what you allow into your energetic field. Start by examining your environment. Are you surrounded by people, media, or situations that drain your energy or pull you into lower vibrations? If so, it's time to make changes. This might mean spending less time with people who thrive on negativity, limiting your exposure to fear-based news, or creating sacred spaces in your home where you can recharge. Remember, your energy is sacred, and it's your responsibility to protect it. Equally important is the practice of grounding. While the fifth dimension is a higher plane of consciousness, you are still living in a physical body on a physical earth. Grounding ensures that you remain balanced and centered, preventing you from feeling overwhelmed or disconnected. Spend time in nature. Walk barefoot on the grass, sit under a tree, or listen to the sound of flowing water. Nature vibrates naturally at a high frequency and can help stabilize your energy when life feels chaotic. Let's talk about one of the most misunderstood but critical keys to sustaining fifth dimensional energy: self-care. Many of us have been conditioned to see self-care as selfish or indulgent, but in reality, it's an act of spiritual responsibility. You cannot pour from an empty cup. In the fifth dimension, self-care is about nurturing your body, mind, and spirit so that you can be a clear channel for higher dimensional energy. Start with your physical body. Nourish it with high vibrational foods, fresh fruits, vegetables, and clean water. Move your body in ways that feel joyful, whether that's yoga, dancing, or simply walking. Rest when you need to. Your body is the vessel through which you experience this reality, and keeping it healthy and vibrant allows you to hold and sustain higher frequencies. Next, care for your mind. Notice the thoughts you entertain and the stories you tell yourself. Are they uplifting, or are they pulling you into fear and doubt? Practice mindfulness to become aware of your mental patterns and consciously replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Affirmations can be a powerful tool here. For example, repeat to yourself, "I am a vessel of divine energy. I am aligned with the flow of the universe." Finally, nurture your spirit. This might mean dedicating time each day to meditation, prayer, or any practice that connects you to your higher self. It could also mean engaging in creative activities, painting, writing, or playing music that allow your soul to express itself freely. Whatever feeds your spirit, make it a priority. But perhaps the most profound way to sustain fifth dimensional energy is through service. When you give from a place of love, without expectation or attachment, you amplify your connection to higher dimensional energy. Service doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. It can be as simple as offering a kind word, sharing your wisdom, or holding space for someone who needs it. The act of giving aligns you with the flow of abundance, because in the fifth dimension, The more you give, the more you receive. Finally, let's touch on the importance of trust and patience. The journey into the fifth dimension is not linear. There will be moments when you feel deeply connected and aligned, and moments when you feel like you've fallen back into old patterns. This is normal. Growth is a spiral, not a straight line. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, and be patient with yourself as you integrate these higher frequencies into your being. Remember, sustaining fifth dimensional energy is not about perfection. It's about intention. It's about showing up each day with a commitment to align with love, to trust the universe, and to honor the divine light within you. And now, the next chapter of your spiritual evolution awaits. Let me know if you're ready to take the final step.